Transpired. Joining us on phone now is the legal counsel to Reverend Ntim Fojo, Samuel Atachia, who himself was a former member of parliament. Mr. Atachia, good evening and thank you for your time.
Good evening, and I'm very glad you've invited me.
What's the current state of your client following the fact that earlier today we were told some armed men went there in the hope to arrest him following some allegations he had made?
Unflappable. He is not intimidated at all. He is of the humble view that he's not committed any crime. All the actions so far from his end, you can find it in Article 115 of the Constitution. There shall be freedom of speech, debate, and proceedings in Parliament, and that freedom shall not be impeached or questioned in any court or placed out of Parliament. So if a member of Parliament should have some information, and then by the sheer fact that he wants to, let the public know, so we all pay attention to it, and an inquiry is back upon, and we know where to stand, and recommendation the rest of it. I think the process should travel its full journey. But if you believe that you are not happy with what is put out there, the way to go is not to arrest that member of Parliament. Well, if you went that route, then you want to guard Parliament. Because that's a citadel of debate and deliberations. So members of Parliament who might even, excuse me to say, not be too sure about what they did, or they were careless with their words, but it was associated with their work, will be frightened and intimidated. That is why the freedom of speech and of proceedings in Parliament has been protected under Article 115. Now, let me take it to another level. If you believe that you want to investigate the matter, the NIB, then you have to arrest the one who's coming to aid you to investigate the matter, or ab initio, he is a suspect and arrest. And when you invade the privacy of a man, wouldn't you want to show why you've come to his house?
Okay, Mr. Atachia.
He called me on phone when I was trying to
Mr.
go to his house.
Sorry for butting in.
This is what has happened. So I said, would you want to demand from the arresting officers the warrant of arrest? And he called back and said, no, they said, we don't have to show you anything. Just follow us to NIB.
Okay, so Mr. Atachia,
because this gentleman is not an ordinary criminal they found.
Honorable Atachia
was trying to steal and they want to arrest him. He's a member of Parliament.
I think we have a problem with.
And if you want to arrest him, you should route it through the speaker.
Mr. Atachia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Sorry for butting in, but I wanted us to unpack this issue gradually. First, you're talking about acts of intimidation. Then you come to the fact that, according to your client, the men that came to the house did not have the requisite arrest warrant. Is that the case?
Yes. And if they had one, who would know? And that's why I advised him to demand to see the authority with which they have invaded his privacy. And they didn't show him anything.
Okay, but Mr. Atachia, there was grounds on which the security agencies went to his house, which was that prior to today, there had been calls on him to work with the state security agencies to get to the bottom of a serious allegation he had raised, which borders on the integrity of the entirety of the country. So if he is refusing, or at least on the surface of it, has not come up with the evidence of what he is saying, how would you advise the security operatives to work, or the security apparatus of the country to work, if we really want to get to the bottom of this issue?
Haven't you heard serious matters coming from even a member of the government that this gentleman is a liar and he should be arrested, and that what he's saying is not the truth? So what kind of material do you want to get from him if you are genuinely interested in interrogating the matter? If you've come to your conclusions, and now that you started taking the foundations of your conclusions away, then they want to arrest him. So I don't get where we are going with this matter. Whether a member of Parliament cannot raise a matter of national importance, I don't know whether he cannot do that. But
Mr. Atachia, in the same vein, if a member of Parliament has issues of serious national importance and evidence to that effect, what is preventing him from bringing it out so we get to the bottom of it?
Let me tell you something. That is a route for an ordinary person to do. But if it's a member of parliament, what do you believe NIB can do? Parliament can do it. Are you aware? If you have material and you think that, oh, this material, you might have state cover. The state will have to guard the evidence. Would you take it to the state? Obviously,
is that his belief?
You take it to, hello, let me finish. You take it to parliament where a committee will be formed. And on the committee, you have NDC members and NPP members. And then you can even invite the NIB to come and testify concerning the matter, because parliament can also get involved in inquiries which are of national importance.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Mr. Thatcher, fair point you make, but he did not do that. I think he came to the public first before even now going to write to invite these state security agencies to come to parliament to speak. So it was on the back of the fact that he had gone public with these very dangerous accusations, for which reason they are asking him to collaborate with the security agencies. But he seemed not to want to do that. So does that not put him on a wrong footing, you believe?
No, sir. He raised the issue in parliament. He didn't accuse the government. He didn't say that NDC is trying to do anything untoward. It was an
but Mr. Thatcher, if you say something like that, definitely you are talking about the government of the day. If you say Ghana has done this or this is the accusation, definitely you are not talking about an individual. You are talking about the government of the day. Indirectly, you are talking about Ghana, isn't it?
Go back to what happened in parliament, whether the government was accused. I'm afraid. You see, you don't have to speculate on this matter. He never accused the government. I was talking about an airplane and some consequences. I think 3 issues.
Okay.
So therefore, if we have to look at it, then let's look at it from the perspective that people who are members of parliament can raise issues on the House floor. Or if it is an issue which is coming from their caucus, they can do that.
Right.
Yes.
So what's the next line of action
so
now that...
Don't say a parliamentarian cannot raise an issue of national importance.
So,
yeah, because you believe it touches on the government. Now, what are they there for? What is the meaning of oversight responsibilities?
Right. So what's the next line of action from your perspective or that of your client now that, well, we are told that the arrest failed and you are in touch with him? What should we be expecting from you next? We are told the minority has written to the speaker on this subject, but from the legal perspective and from that of your client, what should the next line of action be?
Well, humbly, I could tell you that we're doing certain things, and I don't want to share it with the general public. But what is very important is that the NIB piped down and said, look, minority leader, we don't want to, raise the tensions. So make satisfactory arrangements so we meet Reverend Ntim Fojo. But there's a precedent that they believe they should have followed, because the speaker has already said when you want to investigate matters concerning members of parliament, there's a whole, protocols you should go through, and it's fair. The protocol is that they'll give you space in parliament, then all the apparatus of the state who believe in the matter, their representatives will come and interrogate a person. The member of parliament will have the right to counsel, and that's it. You see, because what is happening is that if he's committing a crime, then you could just arrest him without the permission of the speaker. But if you believe you are investigating a matter which will make you make up your mind whether to charge him or not to charge him, I think the protocols are fair. The member of parliament should not be treated anyhow. You come to the premises of parliament and then you do what is needful, and then that is it.
All right.
But to say that the man is being treated like a common criminal, you stampede him, you break the privacy of his home, and then the rest of it, I don't believe this is what they want to call the reset of the rule of law.
Mr. Thatcher, pleasure talking to you. Certainly, it's still a very fluid situation, so we'll be engaging you more as the day wears on. Samuel Atacha is a former member of parliament and legal counsel to Reverend Ntim Fojo, who earlier today the security agencies from the National Intelligence Bureau went to his home in an attempt to arrest him. We'll bring you the full story in a moment, but let's pick the thoughts of security consultant and former BNI operative himself, Richard Kumado. Mr. Kumado, good evening and thank you for joining us on News 360.
You're welcome, man.
What would your general assessment be from the security perspective that the security apparatus individuals went to the house in an attempt to arrest him and actually did not arrest him? That's what we are hearing. How does this come to you?
When you show the video and of the scene in the house, that tells you that the officers there are not BNI officers, or they are not from the NIB. The NIB officers do not wear police uniform. The NIB officers do not wear military uniform. The NIB officers do not hang guns around their neck like their Marines or their special forces. If anybody tells you that the director of BNI sent people to the home of Uncle Fojo to arrest him, the person is a liar and is instigating the general public against the work of the officers of the BNI. These are officers who will put the state above partisanship. And I believe that is what they have done all this while. What we are seeing there is what I like why you said the security agencies. This is a collaborative nature of operations, involve police, involve military, involve all manner of agencies involved in this particular operation. But I can tell you, if the BNI is after Uncle Fojo, there are two things they will do. They will invite him, and the BNI invitations may be personal or they may be through other means appropriately, just like the lawyer for Fojo has stated. The next one, if it becomes apparent that the BNI would arrest you, the quality of their due diligence will be that they will come to where you are to arrest you with the arrest warrant.
Right.
Even though we have explained that there are circumstances where people who have come under investigation notice can be arrested or searched without warrant, the quality of due diligence shows that the BNI would have come to your house with an arrest warrant. And if arrest is what is on the table as an option, there's no way they will leave you without you being arrested. So
Right.
I want to put that thing so clear, so that all these things we are saying that people are instigating people against the BNI, it is not true. And
Okay.
the people of Ghana should be aware that if you destroy the BNI, the state is doomed and you are destroyed. In the face of partisanship nature of this country, NDC, NPP, that is the only institution you have standing for you. So we have to be careful with the narrative that people are screwing the narrative in order to create, the other political tension between NDC and NPP. That is what it is.
Well, Mr. Kumado, pleasure talking to you. Thank you for your insights on this very fluid situation. Richard Kumado is security consultant and former operative of the BNI. So we indicated that security officers went to Mr. Ntim Fojo's home. Our reporter George Queening was there. Let's gauge the mood exactly of how it played out earlier today.
More than 20 operatives of the National Investigation Bureau stormed the residence of the Member of Parliament for Asen South, Reverend John Ntim Fojo, to cause his arrest of allegations he made that there were some suspicious 2 aircraft that landed Kotoka and that were suspected to have been dealing in drug trafficking and money laundering. And so that was why the operatives were here. So let's hear from the leader of the minority side, Alexander Penyo Markin, who says they will not be intimidated by government and they are ready to collaborate if government will allow them.
You come with armed men, about 20 of them. We don't need it. If you disagree, you disagree. In any event, the caucus is calling for a bipartisan inquiry into this matter. We should be able to judge all. But, well, they have de-escalated, they've left, they've gone back to wherever they came from. We want to assure the government that we will cooperate if they approach things in a decent manner. But we will not be intimidated. Let's engage. We are political actors. Let's assure the people that we are ready to uphold the promises of the Constitution and democracy. This must stop.
Will stand. Nobody can truth will stand. Thank you for your prayer. Thank you.
National organizer of the MPP, Nana Boache, wants the spokesperson of government communications, Felix Kwachiofosu, sacked.
I even applaud the president. The president quickly responded by saying that there should be collaborative investigation. Then all of a sudden, the spokesperson to the president, who is throwing his weight about, and he must be sacked. He is rather undermining the position of the president. He rather said that even the investigation is useless because Honorable Forjo did not provide any evidence. Meanwhile, the president had instructed that there should be a collaborative investigation. And then you, as a spokesperson to the president, you are rather supposed to amplify what the president says and then explain it further. You are rather articulating a position.
There were some party executives and former ministers of state who also showed up to show some sort of solidarity and support to their comrade. Let's hear from the General Secretary and others.
Whether it's the Director General, whether it's the Director in charge of operation, or from Jubilee House, or maybe for Fukwachi send them, they will know if they are doing the right thing. They shouldn't be perturbed about the numbers. But because they know what they are doing is wrong, that's why they've left. They can call so many people who will come and support them. Their due process must be followed. Their due process must be followed.
When the minority caucus expresses a position on a matter through its a spokesperson on a particular matter, holds a press conference, expresses a position on a matter. When have you seen in Ghana's history that we sent about 20 gun-wielding NIB officers to go and pick him up to come and explain what he said? When? Is this the change? We're not back in a coup era. So that's the first issue, that when the minority caucus is raising questions that there's a particular matter, full-scale public inquiry needs to take place on that matter. You don't send gun-wielding NIB officers. Did you see the guns? AK-47s, cocked people wearing masks and balaclavas all over.
What transpired inside? I want to know, because there was some sort of noise and all that.
As to what transpired,
some sort of resistance.
As to what transpired inside, you saw a Reverend Ntim Forjo, a man not as tall as I am, right?